Renee, hello.
Hi, babe. How are you?
I am so good. First of all, I appreciate this energy, okay, after the day that I've had.
Oh, have you had a? I don't. To be, my day has also been
What happened?
nothing. Everybody's just getting on my nerves, taking forever in a day. I'm like, move.
Who is getting on your nerves? Let's call them out.
Well, first of all, this name, no. No, nobody's really pissing me off in particular. It's more like everyone is pissing me off. Do you know what I mean? Like it's very me versus the world right now. Well, it's me and EJ versus the world right now. But yeah,
Thank you so much. Renee, are you a very first of all, when's your birthday?
January 10th.
Oh, okay. You just had it. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you do? I was about to say, because you are giving me very Capricorn vibes. What
Oh
did you
yeah.
do for your birthday?
For my birthday, okay. So for my birthday, I worked. Yeah, very Capricorn. I did, but it was like fun work. It was actually like so much fun. I did Jimmy Kimmel on my birthday,
Nice.
and it was like so awesome. Like he is also so sweet. Like I think I've been on a lot of sets that have been like people have, and
Mhm.
he is incredibly kind. His entire crew is so gracious, and they like basically threw a party for me. Like I got into my dressing room and it was like all decorated with like happy birthday Renee and like cupcakes, and it was so sweet.
Can I just say, I feel like that almost makes you want to be there. Like you whatever, like basically you working on your birthday is not going in vain.
No, genuinely, yeah. Because it also wasn't that like I was not wanting to be there. I was just like, damn, it's like my birthday. Like, and I had originally been like, hey, can I please have this day off? And they were like, oh my God, yeah, of course. But like, that's always the way it goes is I'm like, hey, can I have this day off? And somebody's like, literally, girl, anything you want. And then they're like, just kidding. You're joining the army. And I'm like, oh my God, you're kidding. um, so it was awesome because they made it such an amazing environment.
Does that happen a lot? Like you'll be like, "Hey, can I just have this day off? I just need a day, my mental health." And they're like, "Cool," but then it's like, "JK, you have to work." Does that happen a lot?
Oh my God, that happens every day. That's my life for the last 26 years, and I'm only 23.
So does that, I don't want to say does it bother you, but does it bother you that you're
Yes.
not fully in control of whatever you're doing?
Yes. It does, but it's also interesting because, like, I think, and I think this is like a personal thing, right? Like, I have a lot of fear of not working. And I have a ton of like guilt when I don't work, which is like a personal issue, but I let that bleed into things, right? So if I'm like, can I have this day off? And somebody's like, yeah, of course. And then they're like, oh, by the way, we need you to do this thing. I'm like, I'm so tired. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, well, you know what? Nobody else can do it. I need to do it. Like it becomes a weird like guilt thing. So yes, it bothers me. It's also kind of my own like weird issue too.
Mm, kind of like a control issue.
Oh, kind of. It is a control
Well, I
issue.
was I was trying to be nice, okay? I
You're
didn't want to
so
completely
sweet.
call you out.
No, you're literally too nice. Because let me tell you, it's a controlling issue. I'm absolutely so controlling.
Okay, so here's the thing. You can't live life like that. You just can't.
I trust me, I'm literally like, I'm so tired all the time, like emotionally. I'm getting to the age where I'm like, yeah, you're totally right. I can't live life like
So
that.
here's the question. So how do you get to the point where it's just like, all right, I'm gonna take my hands off the wheel and hopefully somebody else in the car can start steering while I just like take a quick nap or something?
I literally have no idea. I don't know. I'm gonna need to mentally get to that point on my own. Because you know what's interesting? Like, I agree with every word you're saying. I think that's incredible, like, advice to live by. I think I would always give that advice to others. Like, I would, like, if you came to me and you were like, oh my God, I'm so tired and I'm so overworked, I'd be like, take a break. You absolutely deserve that. Like, your life is about longevity, not like an immediate sort of success or whatever. I cannot take that advice. I'm such a
One,
hypocrite in that regard.
let me tell you, one that gives advice can't take it.
Hello. Yeah.
But I also come from a school of, hear me out for a second. I don't
Yeah.
know if you're like this too, but like when people are thinking you're hot, they're calling you, they're asking you to do things. You kind of want to continue to do it because let me tell you, there's going to be a point in your life where you're like, wait, I'm not as hot as they once thought I was. So you have to almost do everything that they want you to.
100%. I'm like, oh, y'all gotta keep thinking that I'm hot. I gotta be hot forever.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you filming right now?
I'm filming. You said filming, right?
Hmm.
Oh, I thought you said where are you from right now? And I was like, filming. I'm just on one
It's been a
today.
long day. It's a long
I'm
day.
I'm filming Mean Girls, the movie musical now. I'm living life in New Jersey, and I am a Jersey girl, and I'm praying that I see one of the New Jersey housewives, and I'm trying to become a housewife myself.
Are you originally from Jersey?
No, I'm from North Carolina.
Oh, I was about to say because I'm from New Jersey, and I was just about to like spaz out. I was
Oh,
supposed to, like,
stop. Where are
yeah,
you from?
I'm
Where?
from like Elizabeth.
See, I asked you that question being like, oh my God, literally, where are you from? Mind you, I don't know anywhere outside of
Wait, where are
Pennsylvania.
you right now?
I don't really know. Like somewhere by the water.
Specific. I get
Yeah.
it.
I'm like, couldn't tell you if I tried.
Let's talk about, so how is filming Mean Girls the musical, the movie, going?
Oh my God, it's honestly more fun than I even thought it would be. It's so much fun. It's it feels like theater camp. Like the
Mhm.
way we're kind of like sectioned off right now. It's like amazing. Basically, we're filming at a school, so we have this whole sort of compound that is like our set. And it's incredible. Literally feel like I'm at theater camp. It's so exciting. And we have such an incredibly involved crew and cast that it just feels very familial. It's awesome.
Can I just say it is a slight flex when you are able to sing and act at the same time?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I saw Beyonce do it. I said, well, I must.
Yeah. Did you get the tickets to the show?
To Beyonce?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not even pressed about it because of this reason. I think that at this point, I have a very good habit that is actually built out of a bad habit in misogyny, but I'm really good at like snuggling up to like middle-aged men and making them like my friends. And so I know a lot of like middle-aged men, not any of them who I work with, but other through like other and other people who I know that I could be like Beyonce tickets. Will you buy them for me? And they'd be like, absolutely. Like I don't want drinks, I want Beyonce tickets. And so I'm not pressed about it because I know that these men are also sitting in high power situations that they probably shouldn't be in. So I will be taking the tickets from their wives and their second wives.
So it's like you're doing a service.
I'm all for the community. I'm all for making it a better place. And
Absolutely.
that's what I'm here for.
Not no sugar daddy action or anything like that.
No, 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 no. I couldn't. No, I don't need to do that.
Renee, let me ask you, how important is it to release and put music on TikTok just to gauge the fans and things like that?
I mean, like, it's interesting. I think it's so specific, right? Like, I think, like, to some people, it's everything. To some people, they hate it and it's just not a thing. For me, it's really been a big part of my career. Like I got signed from a TikTok doing numbers. You know what I mean? So like I understand that there's like a lot of discourse. There's a huge conversation surrounding like what is or isn't like signable or worth pushing or goes with the algorithm. And then there's a whole other like layer to the conversation that is like the algorithm is inherently problematic and is inherently racist, right? So like white artists and like people like myself are going to be pushed to the algorithm more so, right? So there's a huge conversation surrounding TikTok.
Which, sidebar, I don't know if you saw the report, but I want to say a couple of weeks ago how basically workers get to decide like what becomes viral and whatnot,
Oh, yes.
which
Hello.
is interesting to what you're saying.
It completely. And to be honest, like it shows, right? Like it shows that is exactly what it is, right? So there's no like if ands or buts about it. And so I think like there are so many conversations surrounding specifically music artists in TikTok that are wild because they're so multi-layered, right? For me, TikTok got me signed, has been a huge part of my music career. Um, and then it's also incredibly problematic, just like everything else, but especially in the way that things get pushed
Mhm.
and in the way that things get I don't know, like served to like social culture. So it's like a conversation that I should never write a book literally about anything, but I could write a book about because there's just so much there's so many layers to it.
And you think you're posting something on this app that it's not that deep, but in reality, it goes deeper than what people even imagine.
Listen, if I like think too hard about it, I'll just start to like cry and crumble and be like, I should delete everything and I should just live in a hole. And then you get stuck in this sort of like circular conversation, which my friends and I talk about all the time, which is like, okay, so then what do I do? Do
Right.
I not do this? And then it's like, all right, well, that it's good for my career. What am I supposed to do? Right? Like you just go in this circle as you do with pretty much everything in life. But I think it's been important for me. I think it's also been very eye-opening to do so.
Have you ever lost sleep about, I guess, for something that you posted on social media?
I lose sleep over everything, so absolutely. Like I stay up at night thinking about things I did in third grade. Like I sticks with me, and I have a huge guilty conscience all the time. And so, do I stay up over things I post on social media? Yes, it consumes my time. It consumes my time, absolutely. But it kind of depends. It kind of depends. I know when it's for a good reason, and I know when it's like for a bad reason.
Mm. Do you think there's a way to get over that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I think for me, I feel really hard, and my like least favorite thing in the whole wide world is to disappoint people and is to make people upset. And
Hmm.
like, you know, inherently by having an opinion, you are going to, right?
Hmm.
Like it just will get you into thousands of little entanglements, which is completely fine so long as you're not harming anyone. But I think that maybe there's a way to not. I don't think I am to that point yet where I know how to like not let it bother me. Cause also like I care a lot, but I also don't give. So it's a really weird like dichotomy of like, oh my God, I care so much, but I'm also like, okay, and
And I know exactly what it is. It's almost like you pick and choose about what you care about and what you don't care about.
correct, correct. Because also I can be like, oh, I hate that this hurt someone's feelings, and I can still not give, still think what I think.
I feel like I can talk to you forever. Do you
Same.
do you feel like you're a people pleaser though?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I was for a ton of my life. I think I still have those sort of like tendencies. I think like people pleasing is also like that's another one that just like I could talk about forever because like it also has a lot of different things that it's rooted in depending on who you are. For mine, a ton of it is rooted in like misogyny and like how like men perceive me specifically. Um, and I think I tried to be a people pleaser for a long time and also to like a hierarchy in a sort of sense because I was like, oh, if this is like a hierarchical sort of like work environment or like blah, 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 group whatever, if I can be a people pleaser, I'm doing my thing, right? So I have since stopped people pleasing in that sort of idea, and I have made so many enemies, and I am so incredibly happy about it because the second I stopped people pleasing as much, um and specifically to men and specifically to people in power, whatever the power may be, like to somebody who's my boss somewhere, I'll I do not mind. I absolutely do not mind. If I'm doing good things for myself, I will you can perceive me as that. That's okay. Um I've been fine with that up until this point, and now it's really affected how I view myself and how I view people pleasing, and it's made me a much stronger person.
Unapologetically you.
Yes. Yeah, trying to be. Sometimes I still cry, but I feel like I'm unapologetic.
I mean, I feel like we're all a work in progress though. Like it's not something
Absolutely.
that's, it's not something that happens overnight. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah,
like every situation brings a different situation and how you deal with said situation.
absolutely. Absolutely. Especially like, you know, that- I just I think like I would be so silly to like walk into the spaces that I walk into and people please. I would be so silly because why?
You don't have to.
Why would I do that? Why would I kiss someone else's? for a space that I deserve to be in. Also, I have the agency in that space to be able to be like, no. So I'm going to do it.
I'm just like, I'm like so high. This is like, you ever like get into a conversation
Mhm.
so that's going so well that you just have to like take a look back and be like, wow, I am really enjoying this conversation that I'm having right now.
Oh, 100%. I do the same thing all the time, especially when I talk about things like obviously we're talking about things that like we're very like passionate about. Like when I get on that wave, I'm like such a I'm like a preacher's daughter. It's sickening. I'm like like the really like Capricorn side of me like comes out.
Do me a favor and tell me about Too Well.
Too Well is a song that is essentially word vomit. It basically started because I like was I sometimes I write like most of the time actually when I write like a good line or two that like inspires a whole song and that line or two ends up being the first line in the whole song.
Mhm.
Same thing happened with Too Well. So I wrote today I woke up in a good mood for once. Um and I don't hate you as much. And I was like, whoa, I was like, that's exciting. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of annoying. Like, it's easier to hate you. And I was like, I still can hate you because you are. But I actually don't even have the energy to hate you. Like,
Which
I
I
don't
almost feel like it's worse, by the way.
it for a second, I was like, what? I was like, wait, do I just not give a about you in a way? And that was also kind of jarring because I was like, wait, but I like care so much about you, but I don't about you. And it's a really weird sort of like healing process. But yeah, I essentially just like wrote that down in a note, went to the studio and was like, this should be it. And then we just wrote the rest of the song. And it took like 6 months for me to like the song. And I like swore it off. I literally told my publisher, Lilia, I was like, you will never get me to release that song. Don't you ever think you will. And Lil was like, no, 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 you will. I was like, no. She was
Wait,
right.
why didn't you want to release it?
I hated it.
Because of word vomit?
No, I just hated it because I was like, this is such a little like like I don't listen to music like that. I don't consume that kind of music. So I was like, what is this? Even though I'm the one who wrote it. like
Let me tell you, it's always that one song that you're not fond of that just always ends up.
I know.
It's always the situation, and it just reminds you of how you're not fond of it and what it's doing now.
I know it's heinous. It's heinous. But I'm glad that we ended up putting it out and I'm glad that it's out. And it's like one of my most streamed songs. So I guess Lilia was right.
Was that you being in your head
When? Just
saying that you didn't want it to put it out?
oh, no, because still when I listen to it, I still think the same thing. I still think the same thing. It's not I like the song now. I personally am lyrically and emotionally deeper than that song. That song is easily it's very consumer friendly, right? Which I think is why it streams well. Like if we're going to talk like in sort of like logistics and things like that. Like it streams well because it is a mathematically correct pop song. It does the thing, it repeats the chorus, it has the lines, right? For me, I need every single line to be motivated, which leads
Mhm.
me to write songs like In the Kitchen where not one single line in the chorus is repeated, but that's my favorite song, right? And I'm not saying that when you repeat things, they don't have the same meaning. I'm just saying like for me, Too Well was just one of those consumer friendly pop songs. And frankly, I needed that in my career, actually. It ended up being a really helpful part of my career. Because it's literally just like inherently what I needed because I needed a consumer friendly song. And I'm sure I'll have many more of that. That's not to say like I'm one and done.
Mhm.
I am much more intentional about lyrics than I think that song leads itself to be. It's melodically really catchy, but
Well,
I
here's
don't
the thing. You're
yeah.
not a one-dimensional person. I feel like we have all different types of,
Yeah,
dimensions
exactly.
to us. And I feel like this one song is just a dimension of, an extension of who you really are, not necessarily, you know what I'm saying?
Totally. And I love a roundabout. So like I love for people to see like five dimensions in one song. And that song is very one dimensional. And I think that's why it's not doesn't mean it's not a good song. It just means it's not like what I gravitate toward.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What are you working on next?
Well, while I'm filming Mean Girls, I've been working on my first album. And I am in the thick of it. I'm in the thick of it. Yeah.
When are you gonna relax?
Um, well, I want to get a breast reduction, so like hopefully soon because that healing process is crazy.
My mother had one.
Oh my God, please tell your mother that I need to meet and speak with her because I am so incredibly sick of
Mhm.
having boobs. Let me tell you.
It was
I'm
her back. Her back was
EJ,
insane.
I've had enough. I've
Yeah.
had enough. I've seen all I need to see and I'm sick of it. And I really want to get that done. So I think that's actually going to be like a forceful reason for people to be like, oh, actually, Renee can take time off because like she can't move. Like she just got rid of her, you know?
Mhm, mhm. Well, although I do want you to relax because I still you need to be fresh and continue to do what you need to do. Also enjoy like, everything that comes to you right now.
Totally. No, and I appreciate that. I will say that's like the coolest thing about this time is like I'm moving so fast that I'm aware that I'm moving so fast. And it is pretty cool because like 2 years ago, Renee would be like, please can we move faster?
Isn't it crazy how quickly it like kicks into motion, if that makes sense? Like 2 years ago, you're just like, man, I just want blank, 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 blank. And now that it's happening, it's like in abundance.
It's really wild. It's really wild. It's something that I don't think I'm able to like fully sit into yet.
I think you need to, I think almost when you can't, makes you go even harder. It makes you
Yeah.
appreciate it more.
Yes, because I don't have any time to like relax and be um like, oh, good job, Renee. Right. So I have to be like, oh, good job, Renee. What's tomorrow? And I don't think that that's necessarily what like you should do, but that is what I'm doing at the moment.
Are you good at taking compliments?
I used to be terrible at it. I used to when I first started going to therapy, somebody would my therapist would be like, "Can you tell me one thing you like about yourself?" And for about 6 or 7 months, I would just burst into tears. And that's pretty much how I was my entire life. Whenever anybody would compliment me, anything, I would just start crying.
Hmm.
Um, I now am actually pretty good at it. Pretty good at it. Took a long time.
Well, you are killing it, and I appreciate our conversation. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
Thank you.
this.
Oh, you're such a sweetheart. You have the best energy. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.